it's a self thing. We expect so much of ourselves. When you do expect a lot of yourself, you want the people around you to come with you as well.
You know, there's not one job out there that we wouldn't do. Not one, or haven't done in the past. No, we've done all that. So, and I think we get respect from our team because we're not just some office boy who's sitting there telling people what to do, but actually know how to do it ourselves.
Is the fact that we're part of the team, they're part of our team. You know, we are Precision Made Joinery. We do everything as a team. Ever since we started to employ people, we're well aware on trying to keep the team together.
Hi and welcome to Business Rainbows and Unicorns, where there's no such thing as failure if you don't try. This podcast is specifically for business owners or wannabe business owners. Say you've got a side hustle, or you've got a passion for something and you think it'd be absolutely amazing, or you see people that do amazing things with their passions and what they enjoy doing. Well, you can do that. So please subscribe, and we hope you enjoy listening to this episode.
Hi, and thanks for listening. This week we're very pleased to visit Precision Made Joinery at their actual joinery out just outside Cavendish. It was a real pleasure to chat through with Scott and Craig. So let us know what you think about this episode. There is a bit of technical difficulty where the sound dips through the episode, but it's just to let you know it's not your headphones, it's us, but we had a backup. So there's always backup and there's always a way around to solving problems, as you can imagine with Breakout. So have a listen, let us know what you think, and enjoy the episode.
So hello and welcome to Breakout Business Rainbows and Unicorns, where there's no such thing as failure if you don't try. Now today we are, as you'll see if you're watching on YouTube, that we're in a different location today. We are at Precision Joinery, or Precision Made Joinery. I always stick the made out. With Scott and Craig. Hello, Scott and Craig.
Hello.
Nice to see you. Thanks for coming
you
on.
Too.
Again, local company as always to talk about their business, but also it's a special year for them this year, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, our 10-year anniversary in February. So yeah,
exciting times. So tell us a bit about yourself. How did you start? Where'd you come from? What you do? What's your resume? What's your
So I'll start. So basically, from school. Had an opportunity of either going to work with my dad as a bricklayer or to find my own career. Adamant on me not sort of staying at school, to be honest, you know. So literally a job offer actually was made to a friend of mine, of which, to be fair, he'd already decided that he was going to go down another avenue. So my dad found out about the position that was up for grabs, so put my name forward, called up, at the time it was Oakwood Joinery, called them, got an interview, got offered the job, and literally took the job the day I left school.
No break for you then.
No break, no, literally, yeah, day I left school, literally
From
started
the books
work.
onto
Absolutely,
the tools.
yeah, at 16, yeah, which obviously is a different world we live in now. But yeah, so from 16, started as an apprentice, literally had a year sweeping floors, clearing up after people,
making the
tea, going up to the shop for the guys, literally tedious tasks, and to be honest, you know, didn't enjoy that bit at all, but really had an interest in joinery and wanted to learn. And obviously when an opportunity came of trying to pick a tool up or something, literally, you know, I jumped at the chance, and literally just went from there really, and then finished my MVQ3 with Suffolk College, and then it had always been drummed into me that you should never stay where you train. You know, it's good to go and see that there's a big world out there, to be fair, of which I did do. I got another job at a local joinery company, and went there, and within, to be honest, after 4 weeks, realised that I missed where I was.
Oh, wow.
Stuck it out for another month, and then made contact with my previous boss and said, to be honest, I'd made a bit of a mistake. You know, would they take me back? Yeah. But I think he really respected the fact that I had tried something else and been man enough to realise I'd made the wrong decision.
Yeah.
So took me back as a joiner, you know, as much as he looked at me differently.
Yeah.
As the fact from being a trainee and being somebody that was a little bit motivated and wanted to better myself, you know, as many people out there that don't.
Yeah.
So I went back there and, you know, worked there for a few years. We went through a change of workshop. and then went on to become a foreman, of which then went on to manage the company.
That's amazing.
So had multiple guys, which, to be honest, in that time it's really, it's a difficult time because when you train under people and then become their manager, it's a very difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
And you've always got the one or two guys that don't like that and take to that very well.
Yeah.
So you try to manage it as best you can. But then after a period of time, the owner of the business decided that, he wanted to close the door, of which at the time there was 15 guys that were going to be made redundant. And literally that was on an August bank holiday.
Oh, wow.
So a real bad time for the company, to be fair. But, things move on. They all found work. And to be fair, Craig and I got approached by a local building company to start a joinery company for them because there was somebody that we'd worked with closely for years before making all their joinery.
Yeah.
So to be honest, at the time, having a young child, got married. Craig's obviously got a different story, which he'll tell you. But, and just needed to get employed.
Yeah.
So jumped at the chance. So we started a joinery company for them. And literally after about 12 months, we had sort of employed people. It was encouraged for us to start finding our own work as much as doing their own, of which we started to do. But after 12 months, we were then put out on site because we had certain capabilities and skill sets. They wanted to utilise that in other areas, and it was taking us away from what we enjoyed doing. So I ended up being up in Norfolk running a building site.
Oh, wow.
Which was a lot of travelling every day. So it was just before Christmas 2014 that decided, to be honest, this wasn't what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Literally started a business for somebody else while I can do it for myself.
Yeah. And I think with all that, like employing people and everything that comes that,
absolutely,
and from knowing as well, like you said, to leave, knowing, and yes, it's that drilled into you of like, oh, okay, you shouldn't stick where you are because you're training.
Yeah.
But actually, you can say, oh, all joinery companies are the same. They're not.
They're not.
The values, the morals, the ways of working.
Yeah. Everywhere
and if
is
that doesn't suit you,
it is.
Oh, life's too short.
Yeah. There is a job out there for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And exactly that. If you're not like, do you know what? I don't want to be on a building site and travel away, especially when you've got a young family.
Absolutely. Yeah. I remember a Friday afternoon that literally, we'd get away on a Friday afternoon, and I'd taken, because where I'd sort of started to run a job, I tried to get a few of my friends on board with helping with the project. So I took a painter and decorator that is a good friend of mine. We took him up there to do some work. It was a Friday afternoon, got in the van to come home, van wouldn't start. And it's literally at that point, you just want to get home for the weekend. Yeah. You're sitting in Norfolk, freezing cold, and you're like, I just want to go home. No, I'm done with this, to be honest with you.
This is not okay anymore.
So obviously made a decision that it wasn't for me and had a chat with Craig, and, sort of said that wanted to move on and things, and he was in a very similar position to me. How I was going to go about it, didn't really know, but it was just before Christmas, so I knew that I had a 2-week stint to kind of have a bit of a think about it.
So
started to do a bit of investigating work of how much money it would cost for basic machines to get something up and running, and we kind of got our heads together and realised that if we could get 30 grand together, we could start the business. So we were looking at doing a £15,000 split each, and to be fair, it was to get the opportunity. It was something I was prepared to get a loan for or get some help with, to be honest. Because it was just something that I'd always wanted to do ever since I left school. Always wanted to be my own boss. But to be fair, Christmas morning, 2014, woke up, Christmas Day, looked at my emails, and I had an email from the National Lottery, and I'd won £20,000 on the raffle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so...
I thought you were going to say it's one of those, oh, you've got news. You're like, I've got 5.
No, to be honest...
You actually got news.
Actually had news, yeah.
Well, that's a sign, if anything, like, in your face.
And it's one of them that you literally, you've never had that before.
No.
And to be fair, I'd even forgotten my login, so I had to reset my passwords. And literally...
Get in now.
saw the message and, literally shouted, and wife's come down and sort of said, what's up? And told her. So
literally been given the gift of a business.
Absolutely. So it was a very good gift
amazing.
That Christmas. So and it was, for me, it was a sign that was meant to happen at the end of the day. So, invested the 15,000, and with the 5, we utilised that with a family holiday.
I was going to say, did you go on holiday?
Absolutely,
It's always if you win the lottery, you've got to go on holiday, haven't you? That's kind of like a
absolutely. So then, so we started Precision Made Joinery started in February of 2015. And to be fair, from then, obviously we started in a small workshop with just the 2 of us in Sudbury.
I was going to say, because you weren't here, so we're in Cavendish today, but you
we
didn't start here, did you?
No, we started in Sudbury, Woodhall Business Park, small workshop. To be fair, a fraction of where we are today. Literally, Craig will double up on this, but literally our first day was, you had all the excitement of being your own boss day one, all these new shiny machines all set up, ready to go. Not a job to do.
No, yeah.
So it was a real reality
What
check.
do we do now?
Absolutely. We both got into work, looked at each other, and we're like, right, what are we going to do? And to be fair, it was a case of, right, get on the phone, had some good contacts from running a previous company sort of thing. So literally phoning around, doing some quotes and things, and we just had to find a job.
It's quite strange, really, because you sit there and you think to yourself, like, oh, have I done the right thing here? Yeah. But I never doubted it.
No.
Not for 1 second. I knew I had made the right decision. And from my point of view, and I've known this guy for a long time now, a long time. My background is very similar, but from the start, bits different. When I actually, the reason I got into woodwork was because my granddad was a carpenter by trade. Done a little bit of work with him, really enjoyed it, sort of thing, and I had my mind set on carpentry, to be honest with you. Put out my CV to a few local companies, and one company that come back to me was Oakwood Joinery. Had an interview there, and they got the job, got an apprenticeship at there, and really enjoyed it. At the time, Scott was a foreman there, so I've known him since I've started joinery. And then worked through there, really. I started to do my apprenticeship. Got that all done, then I started taking my own jobs on, started doing the bigger jobs, and then I got asked to go into the office and start doing the estimating. So started doing all the estimating from there, and like Scott said, unfortunately, the company didn't work out, went into liquidation from there. And then, to be honest with you, it is the same as Scott's from there, and we went through the local building contractor and just got fed up. I was at a stage where, as Oakwood went into liquidation, I was just about to start my self-build. So I was like, bit of a problem here. Yeah. What do I do? I've got all these plans written out in front of me, all the plans of where I'm getting money from, all this sort of side, and I haven't got a job.
Yeah.
And the guy knocked on the door and said, do you want a job? I was like, yes. Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do. Thank you very much. So it was literally like, I remember giving Scott a call. So I've just had a conversation with the owner. Monday, let's go and have a chat with him. Yeah. Monday, we had a chat with him, and we walked away with all the outfit, and off we go, sort of thing. Yeah. How are we going to do this?
Good
I don't
luck.
know, but I need money.
Yeah,
so,
we'll make it work.
And so we made it work. And to be honest, I wouldn't change it. That really opened our eyes up from that side of things as well, and gave us experience in all the right ways. So it was a great opportunity, but we need to make money.
And that's the thing from where we are with joinery. I mean, people obviously do and don't understand what joinery is, but to be fair, from the previous experience of Oakwood is just being in a workshop all the time. To be fair, literally I really enjoyed my time with the building contractor, because to be honest, we got an opportunity of doing some site work, and from being a joiner is that you really understand the product more once you get to fit it.
Yeah.
Once you learn how to fit it, you look at how it's made differently.
Yeah.
Which really taught us a lot, to be honest with you. And it was great to have that time. And to be fair, personally, even just to have that 18 months out, in a way, of working with somebody else. I always wanted to be my own boss. From managing 15 people, and to be fair, how I ended up taking it on was stressful. And to be fair, at that time, I just wanted a break. Yeah. To be honest, just turn up every day and just be told where to be and what to do. Yeah. But I'm not like that, to be fair. I can do that for a period of time. It's nice to refresh your mind, but then you go again at the end of the day. And that was very much what Precision Made has been, is, Craig and I literally just giving something a chance. When day one, to be honest with you, we both looked at it, didn't we? And we're like, right, this is us. This is what we're going to do. We're not going to employ anybody. We're just going to, we'll work together. We'll get a job done. But
nice little workshop, like the van sorted, tools sorted. That's it. Job done. We're happy now. That soon come to a light that maybe we do need to look at things, but we're like, no, we're not doing it. Not doing it. And the best, one of the great things as well is I remember starting the business, and it wasn't long before. Knocked on the door of Scott saying, just to let you know, my wife's pregnant. And I was like, right, okay, fine. And we got on with it, sort of thing. It wasn't a problem. 3 weeks later? Yeah. Scott knocked on the door. My wife's pregnant as well. So, we could plan this a little bit better, couldn't we, mate? But it was what it was. Yeah. And we all had it planned, and it literally got thrown on its head. I think we literally tapped each other out of the hospital bed and say, right, your turn, mate. And we went our other ways. And it just the way it was. But I think when you have the respect for each other and you want the company to grow, you just get things done.
And it's the communication as well. It's just, I remember when, so I was a buyer, so at Green King. And I remember, of course, we'd plan 18 months ahead for the business. Yeah. And I came back off honeymoon and I was just like, I don't feel too well. And I'm sat there with my boss, and I had such a good manager at the time. Yeah. And he's like, right, we've got to do our budgets and things for next year. So I could settle my budgets. If I wanted to save $1 million, I could put $1 million in the budget. That's fine. And I went, Jason, I'm really sorry, but I feel like I'm lying to you because I ain't going to be here. And he was like, how far gone are you? I was like, probably about 4 weeks. He was like, you don't need to tell me now. I said, no, but we've got that kind of relationship where we can be open and honest. And yes, I have a team and the team will manage. But I think if you can talk to someone like that and have that conversation, whatever it is, whether I don't know, a bit of machinery's gone wrong or you've messed up a quote or something, it's just like you say, it's that respect for each other.
And that's the thing. I think it really put the foundations in for the type of business we're going to be, what we're going to make it from the very early days. And we've had problems, and who hasn't? What company hasn't? Yeah. We've gone through all sorts of things, but that was very much at the start what we're like, right, we can get through this. We can do anything. So we started there, and to be honest, the work started coming in quite nicely. Through contacts we already had, through just speaking to friends and family at the start, we would do nearly anything. If it was the fact that we had to paint some windows, we'd paint some windows. We weren't closed doors to anything at the time, and you can't be.
And if you can still get on over both having sleepless nights, then I mean that's a test of a relationship. Isn't it?
Not talking to each other until 10 o'clock because I don't talk to you in the morning.
You make the coffee today.
And that's the thing is, as much as partnerships in business, lots of people have different views of that. To be honest, as some say it's good, some say it's not. To be honest, we're almost 10 years in. To be fair, don't get me wrong, there's been many days that we don't agree on things.
But if you did agree on stuff, I don't think you'd succeed. Because if you both think it's that, and that's not right, who's going to reign?
We challenge each other.
Yeah, exactly. Which is the way it should be.
It should be. And it's healthy as well. It's healthy because we both want the company's best interests at heart. That's what we both have.
Succeed.
But if, like you say, if you've got blinkers on and you're going this way, but Scott thinks actually this way is the right way, I might put a fight up, but it might be the right way.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And
but you look at it then properly, don't you? Like, okay, well, show me the figures, or show me this, or show me that.
We have discussions, and if we don't agree, to be honest, we'll ignore each other for a couple of hours, and then we'll reapproach it, and we'll have a chat. And to be honest,
fine.
And that's the thing. The key to it is compromise. And to be fair, the heat of a conversation isn't always the best time to compromise.
No.
So the best time is just to literally,
walk away,
let the dust settle a little bit, and then reevaluate it. And we do that really well. Yeah. To be honest.
And like arguably, I would say the last 10 years have probably been the worst in business. I mean, if we've had something thrown at us.
If you could forecast to start a business, when we started was not the right time.
No, literally, as soon as we started the business, to be honest, Brexit hit us on the head. And then, to be honest, we then did our first move. We started employing people. And then COVID hit.
How did Brexit affect you? Because I think it's quite important that still now. So when Brexit hit, I was working for a company and I was organising containers across from Estonia.
Yeah.
And I'd go home and say to Ben, and Ben would be like, "Oh, how's it?" I was like, "Oh, it's just customs don't know what they're doing."
Yeah.
If a container gets held up, we just have to pay for storage.
Yeah. Yeah.
We then the container price doubled anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But it was quite a high-end product as well. It was baby product, but it was a lot of money anyway. So we couldn't put the retail price up or the trade price up. No. So how did?
It's more materials, wasn't it? That's the biggest thing. 'Cause obviously, we get our timber, paint, glass, all that sort of stuff from other suppliers.
Yeah.
And it was the uncertainty of when it's coming.
Yeah.
Obviously, we do everything we could to try and plan our production, but we can only do so much.
The increased costs. Yeah. The worst thing with anything, I mean, you can call it Brexit, then we had COVID. You can call it whatever you like. It's the talk that everything receives, the negative influence that has, because all of a sudden suppliers hear of that, so immediately they just increase their costs. Yeah. But the problem is we've got deposits from clients. Yeah. It's a real difficult conversation to sit down with someone and say, look, you know what, we now can't do it. No. Or you try to absorb as much of it as you can.
But there's only so much you can take of that as a company.
And also, you can't store anything here. It's not we're talking about a lot of product.
Yeah, we are. And
raw materials.
It's the flip of that as well. It's not only getting that from suppliers, but people, it really affects, even like just what's happened, like their labour getting in sort of thing. Like people, anything's uncertainty, people want to stick. Yeah. They don't want to twist. They want to stick. And what they do, they sit there and they go, I'm not quite sure about giving you a deposit because I don't know what's going to happen in 2, 3, 4 months' time. And I think it always affects that sort of client. Yeah. And they're like, no, I'm not doing it. And then that just dominoes through us. And then we have the problems on the other side of it. We can't get materials or materials have gone up. So it's difficult times. I think COVID was testing.
Did you have a team at that point?
We had a team of...
So we had, six of us. Six of us. Yeah, so basically 6 of us. And at the end of the day, I think as the world did, the pandemic as such, literally it was like, right, COVID's here. What do? You close your doors. Yeah. Right, send everyone home. Yeah. Let's be safe at the end of the day. Well, to be honest, we both had young children at the time, but then being homeschooled. Yeah. And we're like, right, okay, well, we'll just work from home, continue to try and do some quoting, find more work, for hopefully when we can get back. Yeah. To be honest, it was really challenging because while you're trying to work at home and you've got little kids literally coming up to you.
Daddy.
Oh. And to be fair, we still had rent to pay. Yeah. So we had a week off, Craig and I, and to be honest, we just said to each other, we're just going to make a bubble with the two of us. It's the fact that, look, we'll furlough everybody else, but we've got to be there, getting the cogs moving to pay the bills, because otherwise we wouldn't survive. No. So we literally had a week off, then was back in the office, then was back on the tools.
It was a hard week though, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it was. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Being at home.
So then we were, back at work, literally, and just, even if we could just cover the overheads. Yeah. Just meant that, the guys had a job to come back to. Yeah. But to be fair, after a period of time when the government started releasing things, we introduced one back into the team sort of every week to other week. Yeah. And prioritise what jobs we had that we could get done.
Just making all that, like the restrictions of what it was, and the workshop. We said, right, that's your area, that's your area. It was so hard, but we were doing something, and that was what it was. And I think, to be honest, we were lucky with the industry we're in that we could do some things.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when you look at all the others, and it's terrible to say, but through the COVID period, it was very, very difficult to manage. We done all right for it. Yeah. And there's a lot of companies out there what really struggled.
It's really hard to explain to people that when you see everything that happened to the NHS and things, but to be honest, our business grew through COVID because people didn't go on holiday.
No. They wanted to do their houses up.
Yeah. They did indeed. So to be honest, in that respect, to be fair, it increased our business. Yeah. Which is a real difficult thing to tell some people, to be honest with you. Yeah. But that is the truth.
But I think
the construction industry, to be honest, throughout that time, carried the country.
Yeah. Oh, massively. Because I for a while I kept apologising because I had a great time in COVID. We stayed at home. I mean, it was randomly the best summer ever.
It was.
Ben would get called out to emergency gas and plumbing issues, so he'd literally go out, come in the back door, strip off everything in the washing machine, and just doing what we needed to do. At the time, everything I did was remote. And I worked for a company where we sold to John Lewis, Mamas and Papas, because of course, what was everyone doing? Shopping online. So my hours went up. So it was just
work.
Exactly.
And I wasn't going out spending the money.
No, absolutely.
It's a win-win. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
We were those people. We'll get a hot tub. But you did, and it's a bit like, and it's the same with everyone else, wasn't it? All of a sudden, you're sat in your kitchen, you're like, oh, kitchen ain't been done for a few years.
Well, not that. We don't lot like offices and things like that. Home offices. People are like, well, I've got to work from home now.
Yeah, exactly.
And to be honest, there's still companies out there what haven't got everyone back yet. And you look how many years down the line it is. So people are still, that's dominoed through it. But it was good for us. So we grew through COVID, even when the tail end of it, when it was all coming out, we started employing more people. We got up to 8 in Acton. Yeah, we did. And then from then, we moved to here.
So you went from Sudbury to Acton?
Sudbury to Acton to here.
Okay. So what prompted the moves? Because obviously it's all in the same area. Was it just size of premises?
Size of premises, to be honest, is really dictated by that. Is the fact that, at the time we kind of wanted to be in a commercial area so that people could find us better and sort of know who we are. But to be fair, then moving where we were at Acton, it's the fact that we found like the footfall of people just popping in. Wasn't the jobs that we wanted. No. To be honest with you, it just wasn't. So then it really opened up our eyes to, we put a mezzanine floor in Acton, and we just outgrew it, and we had we had no storage space. If a job got delayed in terms of delivery, really messed up our flow. So then, we opened up our eyes, sort of thing, to see what it was about. I think it was Craig's wife heard about this unit here that was somebody had put a post on Facebook. So we come and met the landlord here, and to be fair, where we are today, it used to be an old grain store. To be honest,
it's dry.
Well, you say that.
At the end of the day,
we're not talking about that. We're just like for a grain store.
Craig and I have obviously grown up. At the end of the day, my dad's a builder. Craig's grown up around building as well, sort of thing. So we have a vision of things, and when we saw the unit, it was sort of derelict lean-to and things. It didn't really.
As you walked in here, I never forget where we're sitting here today. It was, you could see all the way through both doors, and there was bags of fertilizer plonked in here, cultivator parked here. In there was grain and a combine, and we was like, got it. We have got it. We've got the place. So we were buzzing. Went back to workshop. Said, "Come on, lads. Come up here, we'll show you."
Oh, they ain't gonna.
And they walked in like, "What is this? This cobwebs hanging down. It is
you two lost the plot."
But as the kind of people we are, we're like, no, this is what we want. And to be honest, we was it end of October? We signed the lease sort of thing. And put it this way, the state it was in, we got everything done, and we moved in by Christmas that same year.
And that's no mean feat, because you've got some big machinery. Even just moving from one place to another.
So we got guys in, we got all the floor resin sealed, we got all spray insulation through the whole building sort of thing. So it was a stressful time, and we got guys coming in over the Christmas period to get it all done. So we actually only lost, I think we lost 2 days that side of Christmas, and then we lost a week the other side of Christmas for the guys to get set up, and we were going again. And when you move a company like that, it was, don't get me wrong, logistics were literally military position all the way down. This is
no room for error.
But it's a fate that was there. Like we were always going to do it like that, because the kind of people we are. We get a thing in our head, and we're sprinting. We're not.
And they are called Precision Made for a reason.
and we would get it done. And to be honest, we walked in here and gone, well, we never filled this place. Never filled this place.
3 years later.
3 years later, we're like,
I'm getting a bit big now.
Another mezzanine somewhere, and looking at other options. But
you got to keep moving forward.
But also it's that forward planning, isn't it? It's what you want and how you want it to work.
It is,
and if the going's good, then you continue to go with that, don't you?
Absolutely, yeah.
And I think that's opened the doors up to a lot of opportunities within the business as well. And from me and Scott sitting there, getting the wood out ourselves, all this sort of stuff. Got some hell of stories we could tell, but we'll leave that for another day. It's gone from that side of things to where we are now. And I'll never forget the first day me and Scott were sitting there and pricing up work. I was so cold. I was unbelievable. I remember, I don't know if it was me or Scott, went to Tesco's and we got a little pint of milk. And it was so cold, it was freezing in our workshop. So we didn't have a fridge. We just left on site.
Absolutely.
And then you sit here today, and I think the type of guys we are, we never really look back and think, look what we've done.
I knew on that time, so we could have looked at each other and said, you know what, let's just go home and do some quoting and stuff. But the fact is that, to be honest, we motivate each other.
Yeah.
And that's the key point behind it all. To be honest, we're here from 6:30 every morning, and we have been ever since the day we started. 10 years later, we're still doing it because, what gets us out of bed is knowing that the other one's going to be there.
Yeah.
I think that's
great. The accountability.
Yeah, it is. That's the whole thing that I got told when I started it. Oh, yeah, there's partnership, right? Like, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
Well, okay, it's not going to work. I've worked with him prior to this anyway, so I knew what type of person he was. He knew me. And one shot, I think everyone gets it. You get there some morning, you wake up, your alarm goes off, you're like, I cannot be bothered to get out of bed.
Yeah.
The only reason I get out of bed because I know he's going to be sitting in the workshop waiting for me.
Yeah.
So I get up and do it. And I think it works both ways. And I think it's a great, healthy thing for both parties. It makes it easier to get out of bed every day because I know he'll be waiting for it.
I think it's with a certain person to work on their own and be that self-motivated. And the same with people who are, and I'm sure you've got a few in the team, they're happy doing that work.
Yeah,
that's their lifestyle. That's what they do. It's the same with Green King corporate. Did not suit me. I did not like being told what to do. I hate red tape. I'm a problem solver. Whereas there were other people in the team, and they're amazing at it, and they would. If Gus like his plan, I want to be a director, and I want to do this, and I want to do that. If we're all the same, the world would stop anyway. So.
And every company needs that sort of person.
Yeah.
To come in, do what they need to do, go home.
Yeah.
They need that. But then you need the people in the mix who are going to drive it forward.
Yeah.
They want to push on to these areas, sort of thing. We try, as you heard, Scott come from an apprenticeship.
I come from an apprenticeship. And we've got two guys, as we sit here now, going through an apprenticeship. We always try and give back from that point of view as well. As a company and as an industry, skill set is very, very lacking.
Yeah.
There's a massive skill gap.
It's a huge hole at the moment.
And it's that's not going to get filled if companies don't get on board and start doing it.
Yeah.
And a lot of companies don't view it correctly. Yeah. Don't wrong. The apprentices drive you potty.
Yeah.
But
we've all been there.
We've all been there. I've been there. And
you relate to it. And to be honest, is like, actually, when I was a foreman and helped an apprentice, and when I become qualified, to be honest, it was a bit of a buzz. I quite enjoyed that. And even to this day, throughout my career, I've taught quite a few people. When you look back now and see the jobs that they're doing now, it's encouraging, to be fair. And that's kind of, what I get back from it.
Yeah, definitely.
Because a lot of people are money driven and things, but to be honest, where we are is the fact that we really pride ourselves on our product.
Yeah.
And what we do. To be fair, we want to achieve the best for our clients.
Yeah.
To be fair, that does come at a cost. So, everybody, they'll come to us and say, you're more expensive than another company down the road, but that's fine. Yeah. You're going to get a service from us, to be honest, and I'm afraid that does come at a cost.
Yeah.
If you're not prepared to pay the price, then there is somebody out there for you.
Yeah.
Because there's somebody out there for us.
But what materials are they using?
Absolutely.
What's their time scales?
Yeah.
Are they fitting it for you?
Yeah.
Are they going to do? What's the finish going to be? Yeah. What's their aftercare?
And I think that's the thing is the honesty period at the start of things, because we hear so much that joiners say, they're going to have it this time, and they don't have it 3 or 4 months down the line. Yeah. And that's one thing we do stick to. And if we're going to give you a date, within reason, it will be that date. Yeah. And that we're honest. And we've lost jobs because I said I can't do it.
Yeah.
But hopefully the customer can respect the fact that you've been honest with me.
Yeah,
and
100%.
that's why
We're
you've lost
prepared
it.
to lose those jobs, to be honest,
Yeah.
because it's not worth promising something that you can't do.
No, because you're going to get aggro at the end of it as well.
Absolutely.
And it's the same when people, and I always say to people, I'm really upfront with pricing and money when I'm talking to people, because we're awful at it as a British. We don't like, yes, that's £10, please.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's when, and I've always found, the people you quote for, and if they come, do you do a discount? Can you do it any cheaper? They're going to cause more work in the long run. Well, you just know there's going to be more questions, queries, changes, whatever it might be. But also, you're not valuing my service.
No.
And we're going through it with a plumbing and heating company I work with. Is that people are going in 50% lower.
Yeah.
So I've said, ask for the quote. Just say, like, do you mind? Because obviously I'm way off. Just, do you mind sharing the quote? You don't have to tell me the exact breakdown. Just tell me what are they fitting.
Yeah.
And then they've looked at it and go, I would never fit that boiler and those radiators.
No.
I know they're awful. Well, there you go then.
Yeah,
And you've just got to, so many people don't realise that. But I think that's a massive part of being able to market and advertise. It's just educating customers of the importance
It's
of...
no different to buying a car.
No,
there's
exactly.
there's a brand of car out there for everybody.
Yeah.
Some people want to spend little, some people want to spend a lot at the end of the day. But there is a difference
My
in the
smart
quality.
car cost me £200 a year.
Exactly, but
It's got no heater, but it gets me from A to B.
Most of the time.
When it goes in reverse, but we won't talk about that. But it is, ultimately you get what you pay for, and you don't want to undervalue your services.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it's just, and also, especially being this local as well, people talk, and if you get
they do.
referrals, and they walk into someone's kitchen and go, well, this cost me X. Oh, they did it for me. For why? You're only going to annoy them and go, well, hang on a second. You just have to have that fair pricing. And
absolutely.
do
And at
your
the end of the day,
value as well.
the best compliment that you get is when you meet a new client and they were like, oh, such and such was speaking about you today.
Yeah, exactly.
Hold you in high regard.
Yeah.
To be honest, straight away, you know that you're onto a bit of a winner.
Yeah,
you
marketing gold. That's
Absolutely.
what everyone aims for, is if you can just have those referrals and recommendations.
And that's the thing as well, is what that's why when we moved here, one thing that we said, we wanted the showroom.
Yeah.
And we need the showroom because people who are coming in, and we're lucky as a pair because we can see things and we visualise it. But a lot of people can't.
Yeah.
They want to see things. They want to come in, they want to open and close doors. They want to go in drawers. And it's really a benefit having this sort of setup so they can come in as a fully functional showroom. Well, everything works. And we've had chefs in here doing event nights and stuff like that. It's been fantastic. And we look at it sometimes each other and go, right, I think we need to push this and get some more guys in here to see it. Do we need it? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We definitely need it. And it is a bit more work going into this to try to keep it lively, keep it up to date and stuff like that. But it's getting people to come to us.
Well, it's seeing the finish, it's seeing the product,
and that's what
it's meeting you guys to see how
absolutely.
Personable you are, and
people
asking
buying
the
people
questions
at the end of the day,
massively.
And also, you put it down on a quote, and anyone can write a quote. Can you do it?
Yeah,
if I can bring them in here and say, look, I can do it. Look at this.
Exactly.
Just a bit more faith in the customer.
So.
The feedback that we get as well is in terms of with joinery is the fact that as far as we're aware in Suffolk, we're one of the only joinery companies with a showroom. Lots of kitchen manufacturers, have a showroom. But the fact is that you go into their kitchen showroom and you'll get a choice of one of three kitchens. To be fair, we had a client in the other day, and to be fair, they were wanting to come with us because they actually want to put three kitchens together. And every job and every cabinet or unit we build is bespoke. It's all made as a one-off. To be fair, it comes with a certain element of skill set that we have to employ because the guys have to be switched on for every day. But they like that because every day is a different day.
And it's challenging as well.
Absolutely. It's not, it's not production line is the fact that, but again, that does come at a cost, so every job is run individually. But that's what keeps it switched on for us. We do anything from windows, doors, conservatories to staircases, media walls, kitchens, boot rooms, dressing rooms. But we enjoy what we do because every day is a different day.
I'm guessing that's how Pinterest actually helped you when you come in and go, can you do this?
Yeah, absolutely.
You're like, we can do that. can you do this storage solution?
Yeah.
Yes,
And one
we
thing
can
we
do
say
that.
to people is, and if you really wanted to, we could have a kitchen with a different door in every single opening. If you really
Yeah.
wanted to, we can do anything. It's not that
Yeah.
you've got to choose from design A, B, or C.
Yeah.
And we spent a lot of time on that side of things because it's the design work and all the effort what goes into that, the planning of the job, what makes the better job at the end. If you just go in gun ho, and you never know what you can get at the end of it. And then it's talking to people as well, is because everything we make is bespoke. It's talking to people, what do you want out of this unit? Yeah. What do you want to store? Yeah. Give me the item. I'll make it to fit that item. Yeah. If it's a hoover, an ironing board, an iron, or whatever it is. And they give me your TV size. We can make it for your TV. You've got a fire in it. Give me the fire size. We can make it exactly how you want. Yeah. And that's one thing what is quite nice of the internal stuff sort of thing is when you're you get and someone says, oh, I've got an old record player, but I want it on show and I want to store records in it, and we've done loads of little quirky things like that made specifically for that person, but until they come in and see us and look at us as a company, they're like, can they do it? Can they not? So that's a big thing for us.
Well, I think people have got used to buying off the shelf because if we want something now, what do we do? Go on Amazon. By the time I'm on my Amazon, it's like, you want this? Well, I didn't want this, but I'm buying it anyway because it's one click and buy it. So people have almost come a bit like tunnel vision of not realising, well, actually, no, you can have anything you want.
And that's great for the market that it is, but to be honest, it's something that's going to last you a few years.
Yeah.
But the fact of it is that, you know, cabinets and things that we make and install to people, it can last a lifetime because it can be redecorated, and, you know, it's a product that's going to be there for a long period of time. You know, in terms of like a kitchen, you know, you can go to a big manufacturer that will be a 10-year lifespan. But, you know, a bespoke kitchen can last you at least twice that time. So it is an investment, you know, which does help improve house prices as well. It does add value to houses.
And what's your or the team's favourite? Do you have like a favourite like kitchens or windows, or because it's massively varied in skill set to do a like bespoke kitchen from.
We almost have two teams.
Windows.
So we have a team of joiners and what we class a team of cabinet makers. The joiners, to be honest, what they really enjoy doing is traditional box sash windows, old lead weights. To be honest, it's a nice old style window. They all like that because there's multiple different sections and components that are going on. It gets you thinking. So that they enjoy that. But when it comes to cabinets, probably kitchens, to be honest, because again, it's more of a layout, and you really see that you change a room. You know, from a
It's
blank
a
canvas.
beating heart of every room in every house, isn't it?
Oh,
It's the
massively.
kitchen. Everyone spends so much time in the kitchen.
Gathers.
So it's nice to have that feel, and also you deal with the appliances and all that sort of stuff and things as well. So that's nice. But I think the thing is for us, we've got two sides of the business as such, a joinery side and a cabinet side. But we've spent a lot of time in making sure we employ the right guys who they can mix. We've got guys who can mix. There's people who have got strengths on one side, and we're keeping that side. But the versatility of if we have a month with all interiors, it's not the fact that I've got half the business standing there twiddling their thumbs. So it is quite nice like that, versatility-wise.
And what's the difference between joiners, cabinet makers, and I'm going to throw in carpentry? Because to me, in my head, it's all woodwork.
Absolutely, and it is all woodwork. But so basically, joiners are obviously renowned for being your window, your door, your staircase, constructing items that have solid wood materials, actually constructing and making a product. Cabinet makers are more of your carcassing with face frames, with doors, your media walls, your kitchens, your cabinets. Your carpenters are generally more of your fitters, sort of making the structure of a house, stud walls, putting roofs on. So that's more about a carpenter's trade. So a lot of people do get confused between carpenters and joiners. The amount of times that we get calls saying, I need a joiner, well, you need a carpenter. You need somebody to swing doors for you. Well, that's a carpenter, not a joiner. A joiner makes products, a carpenter fits.
Right.
But then also on that, we obviously have a fit service here as well. So we've got guys who come in and do our fitting for us. Most of our internal fitting we do in-house. So we really find it helps the fact that we can offer a whole package to a customer from the design all the way through to finished item. And also the fitting side of things is you can view it differently if you're going to fit it when making it here. We can do a lot of work here, what makes the fit on site easier.
Yeah.
So if we know we're fitting that side of things, we can go, I'm just going to do that here because it's easy to do here and it is on a dusty building site sort of thing. Yeah. So we offer the fit side of things as well. And we really, really like to fit all of our interior stuff. Yeah. That goes from everything is finished at the end of it. We get a decorator to go over everything. If it's one of our guys or someone else, and it's always finished off to absolute perfection everywhere. And it just gives the feel of a nice homely sort of feel. You've got a guy coming in who's gone over everything at the end. It's all touched in and it's done.
Yeah.
Rather than, it's not my job, that's the joiner's job. No, that's the fitter's job. That was the plumber's job. And it just gets all messy. Where we'll just take the whole package on and go, we'll deal with it.
We'd rather have control of it, and it gives the client peace of mind. Don't get me wrong, we also have clients that also want to take on the responsibility for themselves, and they're more than welcome to do that. Yeah. But I think come the end of the project, they really regret it.
They just want you to
be
do
honest.
it. Yeah,
absolutely.
I think people find it is a bit, I'll save money if I do that myself.
Yeah, they do, but it ends up costing more money.
Yeah, exactly. Or they just don't have that
and
attention to detail,
absolutely.
Or it's just, and especially when it's things like that in the kitchen, of just like there's certain things people want hidden, or
absolutely.
And it's that behind the scenes stuff people don't see or don't know.
No, and that's where all the key work is done. It's not always on the things that you can see. It's all the back work that's important.
It's hiding the stuff you don't want to see.
Yeah,
it's a kitchen, we all have families. It's all working. You go into a kitchen sometimes, it's lovely, but then you go into the kitchen sometimes and it's like a bomb's hit it. Yeah, you've got to get out the door or something like that. Yeah. And it's just having the facilities to chuck things away at a time, like just shut the door, so clean and tidy sort of thing. Everyone does it.
Oh, someone's coming round.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's the thing. But that's why we like spending a lot of time with our clients, sit down and discuss this sort of thing. What do you want? How do you live your life? Some people cook just to survive. Some people love cooking. So let's put more facilities in for cooking then. What do you like doing? And
some people just like a kitchen for show. We've done those before. You know, people that literally don't cook anything. Yeah,
they ain't touch their oven.
No, absolutely. But they love it to sit at when a friend comes round at the end of the day, and that's what it's all about.
I think it's learning your client. Yeah. It's a big thing for us, and seeing what they want, and that goes with both sides. That goes with the interior and exterior. And some people are not bothered about things, but they really want a really nice front door. Yeah. And they want this particular ironmonger on it and stuff like that, and we can source that and put it all on for them. It's knowing what they want at the end of it. And we can do nearly anything. It's just knowing what they want and getting that out of them.
And I think we get the same with us. It's sometimes clients don't know what they want, but they've come to you for that expertise.
Yes, absolutely.
Just saying like, okay, well, do you cook? Do you say, oh yeah, I use a lot of herbs and spices? Right, well, you could put a massive spice bag. Could I?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you could. Yeah. Oh, what happens to the corner cupboard? That's always dead space. Well, you can do this, and this. Yeah. Could I? And it's those, and then they it's telling them
education.
What they want.
Exactly. It's just educating people
massively. So, what is there? Like a favourite type of client? Is there certain things, like certain projects, like massive because I'm sure you've been asked for anything and everything over 10 years there's going to be literally from top to bottom. Is there certain projects or
projects that we take the most from are the ones that we get involved with early, to be fair, where we it's not one particular item. We actually enjoy getting involved with clients that we've done quite a few projects now where we've literally done everything. We'll get in with a client and we'll make the windows, the doors, the front door, back door, and then we'll make the staircase, then we'll do the kitchen, the dressing room. For us to walk into a house that we've literally made everything in there, that's what we really enjoy. And it's nice to have the relationship with a client for that period of time.
Yeah, because you know what they
absolutely.
Want. You're always going to give them a service to someone.
Absolutely, rather than just having one item that you're dealing with them on. They get to buy into us, and you get to know each other. And that's the kind of projects that we really
And just to say, that's not all at once either. If someone wants, do you know what, can you do a front door? Okay, we'll do a front door. Oh, now, could you do the windows? Yeah, we could do the windows.
It could be over the period of absolutely.
Literally 10 years.
Absolutely. We've had quite a few projects that they've done like one elevation of the house and then moved round to all the elevations because they just can't afford to do it all in one go.
Yeah.
And that's understandable. So we've done projects like that, and we're happy for that. It's not a problem. And we've done projects where we've had like a year break, then gone back and done something inside. And it's repeat custom. And because you know the client from the very first meeting, it's nice to go through it all.
Yeah, and I suppose it helps with the project if it almost gets quicker in a way, subject to what they want, but actually knowing them and knowing the house and everything.
And the clients we get are so vast from one extreme to the other. It's not that,
you can't stereotype or take anyone nowadays, can you?
You
just
can't.
don't.
And you don't know. You really don't know who. And it goes to the smaller sort of houses. You think, well, they're never going to have bespoke, but sometimes it works. Because they specifically want to store certain things. Or it's a listed house. They have to have these sort of windows. So it might be a little cottage. You think there's no way they're going to spend that money,
but actually they've got all these pokey little bits that actually something off the shelf is never going to work.
Never going to work.
And they love their house. They've got no interest in moving at all, and they want to make their house perfect. And that's when we come in. But then we have worked on really, really nice houses. So it's so vast.
We do a lot of heritage work as well. We work in churches as well.
What do you do in a church? I did not know this. I was just going to say, do you do any commercial work? Church? Can we call churches commercial?
We've done quite a lot of church work, to be fair. Yeah, literally we did a whole reordering project at Southpole Church, of which we did huge oak screen that was like an entrance into the toilet facilities, and there was a balcony. We do
little
display boards, a shop area.
Oh, wow.
Little mobile trolley units, T-point units. To be fair, we've done quite a few churches now, to be fair. And we've got a few that are coming up as well. Like I say, we do all sorts of work, to be fair.
Do you do any other commercial work, or is it more residential?
Mainly residential, to be fair. It is mainly residential, period properties. We haven't done much commercial work, to be honest with you.
And how far do you travel? Do you cover? Because you do a lot of work in Norfolk, don't
you?
We do,
North Norfolk, around the coast, to be fair. So we do cover Essex, Suffolk, and Norfolk as well. To be fair, as the business grows, is the fact that we know that we need to open up our catchment area as well. I mean, to be fair, it really is job dependent. And to be fair, we will travel wherever anybody's willing to pay for our products. I mean, 2 months ago we priced for a staircase up in Scotland. Again, it was for an architect that we're currently doing another project for. We work with quite a few interior designers, of which, again, they work with clients that have more than one house. So to be fair, we've had it before where, a client will have a holiday home in Norfolk that we get to work on, but then they want their house done in around London.
We've done some bespoke bunk beds for someone.
We did.
Literally, we done a job for an interior designer locally, and this other company went on our website, saw that we make bespoke beds.
And
that's in the Cotswolds.
Oh, wow.
And so for us, we obviously made the bunk bed, obviously surveyed it, made it, got it all fitted, and done it all from there. But it had to fit in a specific space. The setup of the beds had to be this sort of setting. So it had to be bespoke. It couldn't get off the shelf. Simple as that. So, and they found it on our website and went from there. So it's quite a few. I think it is going to cost more, obviously. But you're getting what you want. You're getting the sockets in the right place, the charging points in the right place, the lights in the right place. So it works for people.
Yeah, and I think that's important for putting your work out there as well.
It is.
Whether it's on your website or on your socials, because you never know who's looking. It could be.
You don't.
You think, so everyone's got to do their research, from architects to interior designers, let alone a homeowner. And it's getting it out there to think,
it really is
I could have a bespoke bed. I don't have to have
It's about your marketing and your branding, to be fair. And that is one thing that we really took from the building contract that we work for, to be fair, is the fact that, like, we have our vehicles fully wrapped. We've got our target that we try to put as many places as we can, so that it becomes more familiar and grows the brand. Quite early on, we wanted to make sure that we ran the business the right way. Within probably 5 years of starting the business, we signed up for what is called the British Woodworking Federation, which is a national organisation, of which we had worked with them before, a previous joinery company, but we signed up with them. And to be fair, they have a code of conduct, which basically you have to have certain paperwork implemented, waste disposed, and it was something that we wanted to get involved with because we wanted to make sure we was running our business the correct way. And to be fair, from not running your own business before, who really knows?
Yeah, who knows?
You know, so we thought
we knew how to do the joinery side of things.
Yeah.
That was easy. It's running the business what we struggled with. To be honest with you, at the start.
Yeah, so with the implemented code of conduct, it made us sort of more aware of what we should be doing. And we implemented certain things, and we are code of conduct compliant. But also being a national organisation as well, they have a yearly awards, of which in 2021 we put in our first application for an award. And in our first year of applying, we were actually finalists in 3 categories.
Amazing.
Of which, to be honest, we went to an awards do at the Fitzroy Hotel in London. To be fair, during the day we were on the tools making somebody's joinery, quick home shower, bow tie on, up in London. All of a sudden we're looking at each other thinking, what are we doing here?
Felt so out of place.
Imposter syndrome at its highest.
Walk in that room like, what are we doing here?
100%. You look around the room, and to be fair, a lot of the room you're looking at is the fact that they've been sitting behind a computer all day, and no respect to them, but a lot of them hadn't really probably picked the tool up.
No.
It's a real difficult place to put yourself there, and we're like, what are we doing here?
I never forget, Dad, you walk into the nice reception area sort of thing, and you're looking down this board and you're thinking, that guy's from that company, like, they're massive. Like, that guy's from that company, they're massive. Like, what are we doing here? We're so small fry.
But you all feel like it's small fry because it's you guys. It's like you say about branding your trucks. There's a company in Sudbury, they've got 4 vans, and every time people will ring them and go, I see your vans everywhere. Everyone assumes they've got between 10 and 15 vans because it's a local thing and people get to know. And what is it? People have got to see you 6-7 times before they pick up the phone or ring you. And I think that's really important because people take the mick out of my smart car, but it was it cost me 200 quid to get it wrapped. The number of people that have said and seen the brand and rung it, that's paid for itself.
With our branding and to us, the projects that we've been lucky enough to be involved with, that we put on our website, big, not competitors of ours, but bigger organisations have come and checked us out. Because, they're kind of like, who is this company? And to be fair, they come and see us and they're like, oh, okay. To be honest with you, it's the fact that we pride ourselves on our image, our reputation, but it's nice to know that they are recognising who we are at the end of the day. So just back to the awards thing. So 2021 we were finalists. We didn't actually win an award that year. To be fair, and we was kind of a little bit deflated because we thought that we had quite a good entry, and we looked at what did win, and it was kind of like, oh, okay. To be honest.
Comparison sets in.
what are we doing? And we're never going to win. We're idiots sort of thing, all that sort of side of things. And went away with tail between our legs and a bit like, God.
Yeah, deflated. But to be fair, another year and some nice projects that went on. We're lucky enough to do a nice local residential property, large property that sort of spanned nearly 2 years of work for a local builder, FA Valiant. And then we put that in for the next year's award. And to be fair, in 2022, we were lucky enough to win Project of the Year, which to be fair, having gone to that, it was kind of like, we went with not expecting
not a chance.
It's funny how you turn up at the first ones and you're like, cool, we're here and everything.
To be honest, I felt like that until you walked in the door. I felt like we could win it because the project, I was quite like,
they sat us right at the back of the room.
Right in the corner, weren't they? Oh God!
Up on a table that you're talking to other people on the table and none of them are up for even an entry. And you're kind of like, oh, okay, one of them nights, is it?
Here we go again.
We did a whole podcast episode on awards because there's ones that you can pay for, sponsor. I've been approached with stuff and they're like, oh, if you pay 1,600 quid, you have to like be in for an award. I'm like,
it's criminal though, isn't it? It doesn't mean anything. Absolutely.
You just don't get that buzz, like you say.
And to be honest, winning that award, it was the pinnacle of my career. To be honest, because it's what you
It's your industry. It's
Yeah,
that your
absolutely.
peers. That
And,
say
and a
it.
baby that we'd developed and
Yeah.
grown, to be honest, all of a sudden is now being seen nationally.
Yeah.
And the thing is, anyone can enter, and you got to make sure you tick the boxes from their point of view.
Yeah.
But nearly anyone can enter, and
Yeah.
you've got turnovers from nearly nothing to millions
Yeah.
entering this same organisation, and
Yeah.
the fact that two numpties sitting there talking, we done it. And to be honest, it was we sat there and the feeling that night.
Yeah.
We was on cloud nine,
Yeah, I
absolute
bet.
cloud nine. It was fantastic to go through that, and the whole, like Scott said, the whole of we're actually doing joinery in the day. We're literally then we're gonna quickly get showered, change up to London, and then get there, sort of thing. It was really good. Really good.
And then because that was 2022.
That's
wasn't it?
2022,
And then you were back again
2023.
last year, weren't you?
So 2023, to be honest, we put an application in, and to be fair, didn't get a finalist or anything in that year. So to be fair, we took that on the chin.
yeah.
Salt.
So yeah,
So unfair. I'm never going to that again.
No, absolutely. So, but yeah, no, to be honest, just made us sort of look, right, okay, we really need to look at what work we're doing the next year and sort of and make our application more appealing to somebody.
Yeah.
And to be fair, again, for the same contractor, we had another nice local project, which was an old rectory, of which, to be honest, it was a full sort of refurb, new staircases, windows that were being replaced like for like, fitted out units. There was a real contrast of projects and skill set in terms of the joinery that was going in. So we put that in for an entry in 2024. And again, we were finalists in 2 categories, of which, to be honest, we almost felt that there was an award that was almost built for us, because the first year we didn't win an award. We had a nice heritage project that we had put forward, and there wasn't
Didn't
it didn't really fit a category other than project of the year. Well, the following year from that, they even said to us that, look, from that, we're actually starting an award that is the heritage project of the year.
Check you guys out. I mean, that's a massive pat on the back.
It was almost like they'd built an award for us, but we hadn't won it.
Yeah.
So it's like, not
we
ours
give
yet.
and we take away.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Thanks for the idea, but not this year, guys.
So with the project that we did at Farnham, we applied and entered that into Project of the Year and the Heritage Project of the Year, of which, we went to an awards do back in November, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And and we actually
Again, down
won.
to tools.
We coming in this morning.
Yeah.
We weren't actually on the tools that day, but we got up to London, and I'll never forget. We got there, so have a drink, start relaxing, sort of thing. Your mind's going through like, we've won it before. Are we going to win it again? All this sort of stuff, and then mine's just ticking.
And then before
Scott
the
met a
awards,
guy.
literally in the foyer, to be honest, you go to these things and you know some people, a lot of people you don't know. There was an old chap that I bumped into, and he was talking to somebody that I knew, got introduced, had a bit of a laugh with him, and it turned out that he was one of the judges.
Oh, okay.
And he turned around and asked who I was, and I said I was Scott from Precision Made Joinery, and he went, "Oh, you're up for an award, aren't you?" And I was like, "We are, yeah." And he's like, "Yeah, sorry about that." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Did he say stuff along the lines of like, "Oh, it's a really good entry"?
It's a good entry, yeah. It's a
And I'll
good
never
entry.
forget.
Yeah.
Scott came over to me and goes, "We ain't won it." I said, "What do you mean we ain't won it?" He goes, "We ain't won it." I said, "Why?" He goes, "Just pick this guy over there." And he just said, "That's a good entry." He's like, "Oh, we ain't won it." So we're sitting there like, "Okay, we're here now. Have a good night."
Enjoy the food.
Enjoy the
drink.
food.
Yeah, exactly.
Well
yeah.
done. Clap, 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 sort of thing. And we actually won it.
Yeah.
Actually won it. So that was
And
amazing.
literally on the way down, the guy approached me and come and give me a hug and apologise.
He's like, I couldn't give it away.
Absolutely, yeah. So but
We
no.
went to one last year, and Breakout was up for one, and Suffolk Creative Spaces were up for one.
Yeah.
But the one Suffolk Creative Spaces in, even in the introductions, they kept talking about this other company again and again. And and you're like, well, we're clearly not going to.
Is it worth us being here?
Oh, look, they're there. And and you're just like, guys, just like dial it down a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing, though. You must be so proud, because you took some of the guys as well. It wasn't just you two. You took guys that worked on the project.
So there were 6 of us that went. Yeah, so
we wanted to thank the guys who actually worked on the job as well, because we feel that it is our company.
Yeah.
But we done bits and bobs on that at the time, but a lot of the work was done by others. So we wanted to win or lose.
Yeah.
We wanted to take them for the night and take up there and
It's
see
what we
what
pride
they're
ourselves on, to be honest, is the fact that from day one we've always wanted to be Precision Made Joinery.
Yeah.
We are individual people, to be honest, outside of here and here, but is the fact that we're part of the team, they're part of our team. You know, we are Precision Made Joinery. We do everything as a team.
Yeah.
You know, which brings us, to be honest, in terms of ever since we started to employ people, we're well aware on trying to keep the team together. You know, try and do some team building, of which, to be fair, in the early
Don't
days...
just give them all pizzas on a Friday.
No.
There you go, guys.
We've done that.
We've been there, we've been there, we've done that, you know, cakes on the birthday.
But it's that, have you seen that meme going round of, it's more for bigger corporate companies, because we used to have it at my Green King, and it'd be like, morale's not great. Have some pizza on a Friday. And you're like,
oh, great.
I don't think that's going to solve the bigger issue.
No, it's not.
But
There's
anyway.
a bigger problem than that.
But yeah, that's more of a big corporate.
Yeah.
meme.
So no, to be honest, we thought of, you know, how can we utilise the team building?
Yeah.
But to be honest, raise some money for charity.
Yeah.
Because as much as where we are is the fact that it's good for business, but the people that you know, why not try and utilise that for also another good?
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, both my daughters were prematurely born. So we in 2019 we decided that we wanted to start doing raise some money for charity, but also do it as team building.
Yeah.
So we decided that we was going to raise some money throughout the year for the Rainbow Ward, West Suffolk Hospital, of which, you know, we did. I'm trying to think what we did that year. So that was when we did the.
Was it the whole hog?
It was the whole hog mud run
thing.
Yeah,
that was
we did
quite
the
cool
whole
actually.
mud run.
It was fun.
So we did that, and to be fair, we raised £1,500 for the Rainbow
Nice.
Ward over the year, and then we had an office manager at the time that basically a close friend of theirs was running a charity called Do It for Daisy.
Yes.
So we agreed that we kind of tried to leave a year in between, because
Yeah.
asking people for money all the time
Yeah.
is tedious
Yeah.
to us. And it's not just that, it's the fact that for us, it's a real task to organise events.
Yeah.
Everybody enjoys them, but to be honest, the financial cost of time lost in organising events does cost a lot.
It's a balance, isn't it?
It is.
We've still got a day job to do.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Actually,
Yeah.
it is a nice to do, but
It is. Yeah.
This can't take over our life right
No,
now.
it can't take over business, because
No.
that's what's paying
Yeah,
for that
exactly.
side of things. So yeah, we spoke to her, and we were like looking at what else can we do. You know, we've done the bit for the Rainbow Ward. Who else can we? And she brought us to the table, and we said, well, okay, well, we'll have that as a charity. So we
We
Do
did
It for
some-
Days as a charity for the year.
Yeah.
So we'd do some different things, but that would be our yearly charity.
Yeah.
And that year we did some virtual stuff, didn't we? To be fair.
Yep. Yeah, we done some virtual raffles.
Walking, running
Walking,
throughout
running.
the team. So what we had is certain amount of miles that the team had to do.
Yeah.
So we
So
literally
that
split
was
it
John
up.
O'Groats Land's End,
It
wasn't
was,
But we done it
yeah,
virtual.
virtually.
Oh, nice.
So that was
Yeah.
quite cool. So he could, so we all had to do little bits, and you could record it on this app we got, and it just took us all the way along up to John O'Groats. So that was quite nice, because it was getting the guys out, and it was throughout like the summer periods, wasn't it? So it was
Gives everyone
nice to get
something
out
to
as
talk
well.
about other than work.
Yeah.
To be honest with you,
Yeah.
because, you know, it was I went out
Well, it's
for a
an
run last night,
experience.
you know,
Yeah.
and it just gives, because when people just talk about work all the time, it's a bit mundane, to be honest,
Yeah.
and it's nice to have an interest and share something other with the team.
It makes everyone real as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah, it does. Yeah, absolutely, and it's not just that; it's something that occasionally you can get out and do together.
Yeah. We always used to joke in the office it was what we were all having for dinner.
Yeah.
That's always our chat. Like, what you got for dinner tonight?
Yeah. You get food envy.
Yeah,
Oh, we all did that.
yeah, exactly. It's Thursday. I've got spag bol. Oh, okay. Every Thursday.
So that was 2021, and we raised £3,100 for Do It for Daisy that year.
Amazing.
So, you know, we were very proud of that. But then to us, then COVID hit, so we didn't do anything because it really wasn't right at the time to do anything,
Yeah.
to be honest, you know, other than try and live day to day at the end of the day. But then, and Nadia at the time that we had as our office manager that was heavily involved with the Do It for Daisy, she decided that she wanted to move on with her career, to be fair, is when we had the office manager role, we started it as a 9 till 2 hours, really hitting sort of towards a school mum.
Yeah.
Where Nadia had a career before in sales. So she joined us throughout that time of her children growing up. And to be fair, you know, she was openly honest and said that she wanted to have her career back.
Yeah.
So she moved on, of which then Kaylee joined us. And when she did join us, she had a real interesting story about where she had been over the last sort of 18 months previously, of sort of donating half of her liver to a newborn child that was her best friend's boy Tommy at the time. And to be fair, it just sort of blew us away with what, the gesture that she had done, to be honest. And we just saw this as an opportunity of trying to, help somebody else. Between Tommy's mum Lauren and Kaylee, they kind of had a dream of starting their own charity. So it was November 2023, when we sort of said to them, look, we need to sponsor a charity next year. Get yourself registered, and we'll do everything we can for you over the next year to get you find your feet and
I think
start
it's a bit of a
this.
stressful time for her. To go, oh God, it's a great opportunity. Let's go. But I think it needed it. I think it needed to push on and say, okay, there's two guys here willing to support you, but if I don't set it out, I'm not going to get support.
I think from it was a dream, but then all of a sudden somebody had obviously said, "Oh, well, go on then."
Yeah.
And it's kind of like,
it's that accountability.
It is,
as well.
It is.
But then that's part of the team thing as well. It's bringing someone else on, and while it's not actually doing the job, but it's something else.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But it massively complements
absolutely.
everything,
Yeah.
and then the company values and everything else. It just all fits, doesn't it?
So we supported them with obviously just getting the some standard sort of stuff sorted in terms of a website and branding and things, and then last year we hosted some events. We did a race night, didn't we?
The race night went really well. Had like a raffle and auction and stuff like that there. So we contacted our local contacts who we know and see if there's anything they'd offer.
Had some great support, even in terms of the gifts and people that put up for the raffle. To be honest,
I think it's important though that if you don't ask, you don't get and you don't know.
No, you don't.
It's not until you ask, and if you're not asking for cash necessarily, the amount of people that say, "Oh yeah, we can just do that," or just
and there's a lot of businesses out there and local businesses that are really interested in doing something good, but they just don't have the time.
Or don't know what either.
Yeah.
No,
that's another
absolutely.
thing. They're just like, well, I want to help, but how? I don't know how to.
No, just don't know how to.
So no, we done a lot of legwork on that, and that was our biggest event of last year. To a certain degree, it took a lot of organisation. Being the people we are, we had our own race cards made, all this sort of stuff.
All about the branding.
It's all branded. It's all PMJ branded.
Precision Made coming back in again.
So we really went out on that, but it's the kind of thing we are. And to be honest, you really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the night.
The families get involved in it,
Absolutely.
everything as well. It's not just the team here.
Absolutely.
It's
and
that
also,
extended
my
team.
daughters are at an age that they come along and they helped out.
Slave labour. Love a bit of child labour.
Absolutely. My youngest is the shyest little girl there is, to be honest, but by the end of the night I had her up there calling out the raffle numbers with me and really sort of brought her out into her own, and it's things like that and opportunities for the family, to keep them involved with the company as well.
And I think it's important then you meet everyone as well, because I think huge companies, or even if you're self-employed and it's just me, myself and I, you don't get that. No. So, but in a company like this, you're talking about each other's family all the time, but to actually meet them, it's just really nice.
And then also we invited like local firms to come in. Quite a few like local firms that come in and brought their guys with them. So they had a table, we had a table, and then you're all mingling together in the same room. So that was our first event. That was like February time, wasn't it?
Yes, it was
February sort of time.
February time.
And then the next one was the.
So we did the skydive.
Skydive next, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So Kaylee.
Power play.
Yeah, actually. Yeah. So we. To be honest with you, it was one of the things that I actually always wanted to skydive. Don't know why, I've always wanted to do it. So it's like one of the things I want to tick off, just have done it. So I said about skydiving, and then I said, well, if I'm going to do it, let's try and get sponsored for it. And I spoke to this guy, and he wasn't as keen. He wasn't as keen.
I love my feet on the floor.
Just to go back to, you're not the same people.
No. He wasn't as keen, but I think it was
jumping out of a plane.
It was like.
It was one of
He's
them
doing
things. It was one of them things, to be honest. I wasn't going to have Craig come in on the Monday and say, I've done skydiving. Like, such a bottle job.
So we got together, and actually Kaylee's mum done it with as well. So we went up to Beccles, and
And to be fair, it was great that she did it, because on arrival, I saw somebody that was a lot more petrified than myself. So to be honest, I felt that like I had to be strong for her.
Yeah.
So to be honest, I literally
Funny how that happens.
I ended up just laughing my way through the day. To be honest, it was just a smile on my face all day.
I've said I'll do this.
And yeah, to be fair to her, bless her, she wanted to be the first one out the plane, of which she was. And once she was gone, there was no way back for me then.
No. And the day itself was sunshine from sight. Like, it was unbelievable day. Unbelievable
we
day.
arrived and it was rammed because they'd had such poor weather in the lead up that literally everybody's was being cancelled. And then all of a sudden the day we had was glorious, literally bright blue sky.
It's fantastic, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Not a cloud in sight. And you could see for miles. And to be honest, one of the best things I've done.
Yeah.
Recommend it to anybody.
Would you do it again?
100% I would,
Yeah,
definitely.
100%.
Not the same place.
Yeah, it's different location, but
yeah.
I'd do it again.
Definitely.
It's fantastic. And then, so we just casually jumped out of a plane, and then the next one,
2 weeks later.
Who'd have thought 10 years ago, we're going to start a business, we're going to jump out of a plane.
And then a couple of weeks later, we done a walk from Bewers to Clare.
Yes.
Just to so we can, what we're trying to do is do events that everyone can get involved in. And there's some people who are not interested in jumping out of planes or doing anything fitness wise, so we've done like the race night for them. There's some people quite like the fitness side of things, they want to do the walk and stuff like that. So we tried to keep it so we could have everybody join in.
Cater.
So we done the walk, and then obviously we got back to Clare and we had like a little event there with stalls there, bounce castle there, barbecue, kids, ice cream man, all that sort of side of things, and some money that way. It was brilliant, and it got everyone involved. And the same again, local companies said, I don't know what to do, but I'd like to do that with you, and I'll get some of my sponsorships, and it all flows.
And the support that we had from family, friends, local businesses last year was unreal, to be honest with you. Katie and Lauren brought it to us with some photo book of things that we'd done throughout the year for them, to be fair. We raised £12,300 last year.
Wow.
So to be honest, it's really been able to let them find their feet. They're now in a position that they're going to be able to start sort of supporting the first family. And for us, it's it's all about trying to make a difference to people that we know as well, because lots of business want to support big charities. Which is great, but to be honest, for us, it's all about trying to help people that we can see it's going to make a difference to. To be honest,
and if you'd have said to me, sitting here 10 years ago, you're going to start a business and you're going to help a charity with 12 grand, no chance.
No,
you're stupid. No chance.
But I need 15 grand to start it.
Exactly. And that's when you look at that and you think it's unbelievable. But we're lucky enough, we're in a position that we can do it, and we want to try and help where we can. You can only do so much, like we discussed before, and you've got to run a business, but where we can help, we do. So we try and have like a year on and a year off sort of thing. So we don't have
it's
keep
not
going.
overwhelming. But local events and things are dying because you can't get the volunteers anymore. No one wants to volunteer.
No.
Everyone sits and goes, where's this gone? Why isn't this done anymore? However, if you can get local businesses that are used to just getting stuff done off their to-do list
and we're in a world full of criticism, aren't we?
Massively.
Everybody just criticises anything anybody does, so people don't want to do it anymore.
No.
Rather than encourage it or to be honest, if you don't agree with it, just keep your mouth shut. To be honest, because there is things out there for everybody, and anybody that puts their time into organising an event, then fair play to them. The biggest, most abuse and criticism I've had is for things I've done for free in the village. And I've had my name banded around the village. It is I always find it entertaining because we live in quite a small area. Everyone knows everybody. You think, do you know, and you're like, we used to have a standing joke in the office. I know everything. If I don't know, I am that person floating out. If you have a friend that's got a new relationship, what's their name? And I'm like, this was their house. I'm right. I am that person. But at the end of the day, if people don't put themselves out there, we won't have things. It's just I help out with Long Melford Open Gardens. We raised $6,500 last year for or local village organisations. So it goes to the church. It goes to
Melford in Blooms.
Yeah.
It goes back into the community.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you get such a buzz off the day of everyone walking around with their little yellow maps going
Yeah.
around. We had pink maps last year.
Yeah.
But we keep it, but even Paul and I that organise it, it's very much done on the Open Gardens page. It's not put out there that we do it because,
No.
I'll be honest, because of the criticism.
Absolutely.
Which is so sad because it's all such a positive. I mean, over 12 grand for a charity is just,
And that's what we've learned
epic.
And what we've learned about the charity events is obviously it's bringing local companies together.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't beat that.
No.
Support each other.
And I
Because
think
we're all in
that's
the
the
same boat.
equivalent of the pub chat.
Yeah.
So you know how
the
we
pub
always,
chat is gone, isn't
I
it?
say not we all, but our parents used to, where's Dad? Oh, down the pub on a Friday, pint after work.
Yeah.
They'd get out, I've had a crap day or whatever's happened,
yeah.
and then go home for my tea.
Yeah.
But that's where business was done and people
Absolutely.
chatted
It was,
and
yeah.
started.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
if you can just, and it will be, and I'm sure you've had it like I've had it, you have an off-the-cuff chat at a random event like that. The next week you've got an email or a phone call.
Yeah.
Oh, you mentioned you do kitchen.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is. It's a good way of just communicating with people.
Yeah,
It is.
massively.
Yeah.
And that's more, I think, showcasing that you've done that work, you've organised something outside of the day-to-day job.
Yeah.
Is almost without saying the words of, I mean, we can do this. Like, and we don't specialise in this. We specialise in joinery and cabinet making and everything else. So people automatically I met him the other day. He's a really nice, positive bloke. So, like you said before, they're kind of sold by the time they've picked up the phone and come to you. You don't have to go looking for that business.
No, you don't. No,
And I think the buzz of sitting here at the end of it, and even if you break it down to each event, I loved it. I loved every event. I loved being involved. I loved helping out, and the buzz you get on the night or the day, wherever it was fantastic. And the fact you can sit here and say that's the amount of money you've raised, and you look at that, it's a massive pat on the back. But unfortunately, we're not that kind of people. We're like, okay, we're going to give this year a break. What's next year?
Yeah.
To be honest,
What
where
we're
we
gonna
are,
do?
where we are today, you know, parents and families and relatives and even clients that we work with and know us from old, is they come in the showroom and, you know, tell us that we should be really proud of ourselves.
Yeah.
Do I feel proud of myself? No, because I'm not done yet.
No.
To be honest with you, and Craig's very much the same, as the fact that I think the day that I'm proud of myself will be the day that I need to give up.
Yeah.
And a long way off of there yet at the end of the day,
Yeah.
Because we are greedy.
Yeah.
And I think with that, greed makes the business grow and develop. Because I think if you're not greedy, then you're not going to succeed.
No.
But it's a self thing. We expect so much of ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, that when you do expect a lot of yourself, you want the people around you to come with you as well.
Yeah.
You know.
And that rubs off on the team as well.
Absolutely, it does.
Because if you just sat there in the office and were like,
You
do
can't
this,
just
do
dictate.
that, they'd be like,
No.
And that's the thing with us, like
No.
with our team, we try and keep. There's not one job out there that we wouldn't do.
no.
Not one.
Or haven't done either.
Or haven't
Like,
done in the
swept
past.
the floors,
No,
making the tea.
We've done all that.
Yeah.
So, and I think we get respect from our team because we're not just some office boy who's sitting there telling people what to do, but actually know how to do it ourselves.
Drawing up the plans, and they come in and go, I can't make this.
Yeah.
Well, it's on the plan
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, you got an apprentice out there, you know, pushing a broom round, sulking, and then filling a bin up. But then you go and have a chat with him and say, look, mate, I was there once.
now. Yeah.
You know, there's opportunities out there for anybody at the end of the day. And to be fair, from being business owners as well, we really want to keep our team together.
Yeah.
It's important for us to keep thriving and driving forward to try and create the opportunities for the staff.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for them.
No.
No.
Simple as that.
No,
They were
not at
nowhere
all.
near.
No.
And we really respect every single member of staff
Yeah.
we've got. They're brilliant. They're all individuals.
Yeah.
They've all got strengths, they've all got weaknesses, but it's
They
our
all
job
need-
to learn how
they
to
all, they all
manage
need
it.
to be managed differently, but effectively, to be honest, you know.
But that's
We're-
learning.
We're,
and that's,
we're a family here. At the end of
Yeah.
the day, we spend more time together than we do with anybody, and
Yeah.
that comes with an element of frustration.
Yeah.
but to be honest, you know, from a day to day, is, you know, that all of our team, you know, if they have a bad day or a bad evening, that they always feel like they can come and talk to us about it, and they do. And to be fair, you know, we encourage that because
Yeah.
we want this to be a safe place that they come and like to be.
And also being the guys here, and we're terrible for it. And we have got some ladies, but we don't like talking. But we do. I do feel that a lot of our guys do talk
Yeah.
to us, and put it all out there,
Yeah.
sort of thing. Sometimes you're sitting there thinking, oh my God, Jesus.
Especially in construction as well,
Yeah.
and things that, it's a real hard industry to be and survive in.
It is really hard, and I think a lot of that's lost socially because we don't go down the pub.
We don't.
We don't have all these
No.
events. We're not out. We literally go home,
Yeah.
and what do? And we're all guilty of it. We go home
Yeah.
and scroll.
Yeah.
And
And
you're
it's
always
that
looking at
closed
somebody that's
door.
doing better than you are.
Yeah,
It's all
exactly.
positive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone puts positive on there.
Yeah.
And so you think, oh, they're doing that, they're doing that.
Yeah.
You don't see the negative side of
No,
things.
Nobody
exactly.
puts a bad
not the
day,
hard
do they?
work. Yeah, not the hard work, not
No.
the graft, not the
No.
what else is going on. And I
Here's
think
that.
that's caused a bit of an issue with people being passive aggressive and not talking, and they don't
Yeah.
want to put. I use my personal Facebook I don't use Facebook, but Instagram goes to Facebook on my stories, and I'll test things out on there before I put things on the company.
Yeah.
And if I put several negative things, people actually switch off.
Yeah.
So I get my stories will come less and less and lower and lower. The minute you put something positive on, it just goes.
Yeah.
And it's that thing of I've always been that open and honest person, and
Yeah.
I will always put stuff out there, and
Yeah.
I will overshare. Like you say, people sit there and go, "God, Holly, you really should just stop talking now." But it comes out, and actually it helps me.
Yeah.
I'm not, and if you can get people like that talking,
Yeah.
they don't actually want, no disrespect, your opinion or anything you say. It's just getting it out there.
Yeah,
It is. Yeah.
And if they feel
Somebody to
safe
listen.
and confident to say it to you,
Yeah.
that's the problem solved anyway.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know what it's like when if you've got a problem at business, by the time you've told the other one, you're like, I fixed it in my head, don't worry now, because I've said it out loud.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
And for you guys to
Too much
provide...
justifying it to yourself.
Yeah.
Something, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But to provide that and you're right, especially a team of guys, because us girls are brilliant at sitting and having a glass of wine and just saying everything. And it's almost like that pub chat in workshops are good like that. Of just like, bloody missus last night, she keeps having a go at me. It's getting it out there, and it helps when you don't realise it's helping.
No, you
absolutely.
don't. No,
Yeah.
it's day to day for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So how many guys you got? What's the team now? How many?
So
I shouldn't say guys. Poor Kaylee. Sorry.
So
how many you got in the team?
so we will be a team of 16s. We've got a second lady joining us, hopefully in a couple of weeks' time, taking on some of the bookkeeping, and obviously we've got Katie as well, and we've got 14 other than that, including ourselves.
Yeah.
So 16 in total. But to be fair, when we first started, we didn't want anybody, to be honest.
No.
Within a couple of years, the magic number was 5.
Yeah.
Then it was 6, then 8, and we're now to nearly 16. And to be fair, it's really good. We've got a real good team around us. They all have good and bad days, but it's kind of where we are now. It's just kind of we've got a year ahead of us now, and really focusing on processes and how we can get the best out of the guys.
Yeah.
We've spent a long time. Craig and I sort of came out of the workshop almost a year ago now, so we're not so heavily on the tools. We're spending more time with our clients and trying to find work moving forward. Because to be fair, it was an area that we really criticised. To be honest, there'd be no bigger criticism for PMJ than there is from Craig and I.
Yeah.
We really look at our downfalls and what we need to improve on. We really saw that customer services needed to be improved, of which Kaylee has got more involved with. We're now spending more time with the client. But yeah, it's just kind of now utilising the rest of the team to their strengths, and we've just got a year now. We just want, by the end of the year, we just want everybody implemented into a certain position that we are utilising all their strengths.
Yeah.
We've spent a year kind of finding what they are,
Yeah.
and managing them. But yeah.
And that's how you evolve at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's
It is.
looking back, refining it, what works, what
Absolutely.
doesn't. If you don't take time to do
And every
that,
business occasion needs to take a step back.
massively.
And
To take it
even the
forward.
good jobs goes out the door, and we're like, okay, that was good.
Yeah.
But how can we make it better?
Yeah.
Because you can always make things better.
Yeah.
And I didn't do this, didn't do that. So,
Yeah.
and we do criticise ourselves, but I think that's why we are where we are today. Because if
Yeah.
we didn't, we'd just plod along.
It's having the time to evaluate, because to be honest, for the first 9 years, it was just run on hard work.
Yeah.
To be honest,
Just getting it done.
Absolutely, you worry about that later. You get the materials here, you get the job done, you get it to a client, make sure they're happy with it. Next one.
Yeah.
But now it's kind of having a bit more time to assess it. What are good and what are bad jobs? What should we be doing? What shouldn't we be doing?
A bit of breathing space. To
Absolutely,
be able
yeah,
to
yeah.
review.
So, yeah.
But also, you should be really proud of yourselves. It should be.
One day
Oh, couldn't be more British.
One day.
Yeah, I suppose we've done all right.
No, like I say, it's the fact that at the end of the day, it's what gets me out of bed, and Craig's the same as, it's what gets you out of bed tomorrow. If I said I was happy where I am today, then what's the point?
Yeah.
To be honest with you,
it is that because you are exactly right. You're done then. It's not reaching for the next.
And because of that, our business will continue to develop and be where we want it to be. So we'll see what the future brings.
Exciting times.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks for coming on, and happy anniversary as well.
Thank you very much.
Is there going to be a big party, or are we doing what?
That's on the list. It's on the list. It's on the list. Something to do. Organised.
February's.
To be honest, it won't be in February. No. We'll have a get together. To be honest, on our actual anniversary, we are taking all the guys out for a day out.
Nice.
To be honest,
that's a secret though. We're not saying what it is yet.
No.
Okay.
So basically, they've got to arrive. We'll tell them what to bring.
Amazing.
And then it will be a day of fun. To be honest, it's the fact we wouldn't be here without them, sort of thing. And to be fair, we need a day off.
Just want a nice day.
Exactly.
Day out the office.
But no, following that, we'll have a get together of the people that we've worked with and
something like a maybe in the summer sort of thing. Whether it's better have something just to celebrate the year. So
definitely. Thanks for coming on. Great to talk to you.
Yeah. No worries.
And please, all the details will be in the show notes, the website, the social links, so you know how to get in touch with the guys and Kaylee at Precision Made Joinery. But please pass this on to someone if they're looking to start a business or any information, and obviously if they need a new kitchen. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to this episode. We really hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please share with a friend who you think needs a bit of help with starting a business, or even their small business which they've already got going. Please like and subscribe to our podcast, which always helps a small business or small podcast like us. And check the show notes. We all have everything in there relating to the episode which you might need, might want to read, and links to anyone we've interviewed and certain subjects we've spoken about. And thanks for listening.